Alright, another question I've been getting lately is about my clothing system and what I took on the trail and what's just a general good backpacking amount of clothing to take with you and what will you use. So I'm just going to show you what I used and what I typically use. Okay, first off, I have what I wear to hike in every day, and that is pretty simple. It is, this is inside out here. It is a shirt, just a t-shirt, a really light, airy, breathable, and wicking fabric. This one I got somewhere along the way, I forget where, Eastern Mountain Sports, I think. And it's just a synthetic shirt. You don't want cotton, obviously, because it tends to hold in moisture and stink. But this is a synthetic. It's got a little bit of wool mixed in to help it stink less and for, I guess, wicking ability. And I like this shirt. It's pretty good. Just any old shirt that's synthetic will do. And that's what I wear all the time, even in the winter, unless it's extremely cold. I'm typically wearing a shirt, just a t-shirt, because you get so hot hiking. And then obviously when you slow down or take a break, you throw on some layers so you don't lose all that sweat. Okay, and then also every day I wore a pair of running shorts, and these are just standard pair of shorts. They have a liner inside, and that's what I wore every day for hiking, sweating in. That's all you need, really. And I never found that I needed pants. I didn't even have pants, except at the very beginning, but I sent them home. So, running shorts, lightweight, all you need. Now, in the summer months, my clothing setup changed a little bit. In the summer months, I would have what I wear every day, which I just showed you, and then I would have a shirt, another synthetic shirt, but a slightly thicker, more comfortable shirt. And I would have that and a pair of shorts, another pair of running shorts, except I ripped out the liner for comfort. And I would have these to change into to go to sleep in, because it would be fairly hot, or at least warm at night, so I wouldn't really need any long johns or anything. But I wouldn't want to wear my really sweaty clothes that I've been wearing all day that were probably wet. So I had sleeping clothes, and they also double as town clothes whenever you go into town and you need to do laundry or anything like that. But as it got cooler, I got rid of these town or sleeping clothes, and I went for the long johns. And obviously there's a little bit of time where I had both the sleeping clothes and the long johns, where it kind of overlapped before I sent the sleeping clothes back home. Okay, so for these, just they're standard Patagonia Capilene 3, I believe this is, yep. And long sleeve with a zip neck and long johns. And so when it was cooler outside, I would sleep in these, so I didn't have to sleep in my sweaty clothes. And that's pretty much all I had. If it got really cold, I would just put on all my layers. But really, as soon as you start hiking, you start shedding layers. It gets so hot. And obviously, in addition to my normal clothes right there, I would always have my rain jacket with me. Just a standard Gore-Tex Arc'teryx rain jacket. And that always adds another layer of warmth if you need it, and it keeps out the moisture. And I also had my Puffy Jacket, which I'm wearing right now because it's kind of chilly out. But this is the only other insulation I had. Patagonia Puffy Jacket. Expensive, but completely worth it because it keeps you so warm all the time, but it doesn't really get you too hot, which is odd, but it works out for the better. So always had the rain jacket and puffy jacket. For the colder months, I had Patagonia long johns. For the warmer months, I had a pair of really light shorts and a light shirt, and I always had a synthetic shirt and a pair of running shorts for my hiking. Then that only leaves the socks to talk about. And for pretty much the entire hike, I just had 2 pairs of socks, and that's all I needed. I had one that I hiked in all day, and then at night I would change into the other pair, or just not even wear a pair to bed. And then eventually, once you hike in a pair of socks for long enough, they get pretty stiff and not really comfortable, so I would switch to the unused pair of socks. And while I'm here, this is a pair of smart wool socks that I used. I really like them. I think they're the most comfortable pair of socks, but the other option is Darn Tough socks right here, and you can see the name Darn Tough. I think they're made in Vermont. These are, in my opinion, they're not quite as comfortable as smart wool, but they last a lot longer. And the comfort is kind of negligible. It's really not that big of a difference. So I would say if you're buying socks for through hiking or for just backpacking in general, I'd recommend Darn Tough, although smart wool is really not a bad option. It's a little more comfortable. Anyways, normally I would have 2 pairs of socks, but as it got colder up north, especially in Maine, I just picked up this pair of really thick socks from a general store because at nighttime my feet were starting to get a little chilly. And just for walking around camp when it was cold out, it was really nice to have a thick pair of socks. And this is just some no-name sock. It doesn't really matter as long as it's thick and it keeps you warm. So that's that. It's really not... A lot of people tend to pack way too much clothing. And if I were only going on like a weekend trip, I don't even think I would pack these comfort clothes. I would just sleep in my normal clothes because you're going to be out of there in a couple days anyways. Doesn't matter. And I guess that's about all there is to say for clothing. I'll keep making videos, so stay tuned.